Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Clutter. I'm your host, Margo Staten, a professional organizer specializing in chronic clutter. If you know you need to declutter, but you keep thinking to yourself, where the heck do I even start? Today's episode is for you. Today I'm giving you 10 easy things you can declutter right now. And we are going to keep things super simple and super easy. We are not touching grandma's china. We're not opening memory boxes. We're not making any major life decisions. We're going after stuff you already know can go. So if you're home while you're listening to my podcast today, get up and spot and toss with me. Let's get started. So, number one, probably the easiest place to start, especially if you're somebody who has a hard time deciding what to keep and what to let go of, and you probably encounter a lot of maybe piles, this first section is for you, and it is expired food. Start with your pantry. And I love the idea of starting with your pantry because in your pantry, there's really not a lot of questions, right? If something has expired, you let it go. If it's something that you know you and your family will not eat, you can let it go. And especially when it relates to expiration dates, I find that for the person who's really stuck and finds themselves in decluttering paralysis, the decision in your pantry is already made for you. If it's past its expiration date, let it go. Number two, expired medication. So same thing applies, right? If you have medication, go through your medicine cabinet. If you have medication that expired a long time ago, there's absolutely no reason to keep it. The one thing that I will say is please try not to get rid of your medication into the trash. There are usually disposable bins found in local pharmacies, or if you have, like with us in New York, typically a Walgreens will have it. So if you go to the pharmacy department, they'll have kind of like a big container and you can actually safely dispose of your medication there. But again, it's another one of those things where it'll only take you 5 minutes, maybe 10, to just go through all of the bottles. And again, if it has expired, let it go. Super easy, low lift. Number three is another really, really easy one. So for all of you ladies who, like me, do your nails at home, when was the last time you went through all of your nail polishes, right? Take a quick peek. Spend 2-3 minutes if your nail polish is old and dry, or maybe you're like, what was I thinking when I bought this color, right? Like I one time owned hot pink. Okay, I not that I'm trying to judge hot pink. There are plenty of women that wear hot pink and it looks lovely on them. But like I am somebody that literally only wears 3 colors. I wear Wicked by Essie. I do my nails French. And I think it's called... Sugar Daddy, also by Essie. Essie's my favorite brand of nail polish, and it's kind of like a clear pink. Those are the only 3 nail polishes or 3 nail polish styles that I will wear. What was I thinking with the hot pink or like the aqua blues, right? Okay, so take a minute, go through your nail polishes. If they're old, dried up, or you're just simply not going to wear them on your nails, let them go. Number 4 is makeup that you don't wear. You know what I'm talking about, right? If I was to come to your house right now and say, hey, show me all your makeup, right? You would probably bring me a suitcase of makeup, and you, if I had to guess, probably only wear 5% of it. So, take a peek in there. I'm not saying go through every single piece of makeup that you own, right? I think that too can be overwhelming, but I'm sure that there are some culprits in there that you know for sure. You don't even have to spend time on this, that you're never going to wear, right? That eyeshadow color that just doesn't suit your face, that foundation that's maybe a different, the wrong skin tone. There are a lot of things in there, and just, give yourself 2-3 minutes and let go of the makeup that you don't wear. Number 5, also easy, is hair products you don't use. I used to have an incredible obsession for dry shampoo. I still do. I shouldn't say used to. I still do. I wear dry shampoo a lot. I use the brand, I don't know, I'm probably going to butcher saying this, Batiste or Batiste. I don't know how you pronounce it. But anyways, for me, I have found, and I've used a ton of different dry shampoos, and for my colored blonde hair that seems to be the best one. But I used to just buy a bunch of dry shampoos. Like every time I would be in a store, whether it was Marshall's or Target or whatnot, and I would see a new brand of dry shampoo, I was like, ooh, let's try it. And then lo and behold, I had like 10 different dry shampoos, yet I still only used Batiste. So what I'm saying here is I had to like sit down with myself and say, Margo, why are you keeping this stuff? Like, seriously, go ahead and like practice what you preach. Anywho, so I encourage you to just go through your hair products. And if you find items, sprays, whatnot, that don't work for your hair or that you don't love or you've moved on from, just let them go. Number 6, shoes you don't wear. Now, notice I didn't say clothing. Clothing is not easy, right? Today's episode is about easy things that you can declutter around your home. Clothing can be challenging for many people. It has a lot to do with the past self and the future self and the fluctuation of sizes and, a whole slew of different things. So not the clothing. Don't touch the clothing. Go for shoes you don't wear. Okay, so true story, right? I'm a decluttering coach and I will be the first to tell you I make mistakes as well. So long time ago, I bought a pair of Aldo red patent stilettos. And they were beautiful. When I tell you, they were so beautiful. I wore them maybe once, and then I held on to them for 10 years because I thought they were so pretty, and I was really intent on maybe wearing them again. And I am going to be fully transparent here. I never wore them again. I never had an occasion to wear them. And most of my clothing, 98% of what I wear is black. So red, as much as I admire red on other people who can pull it off, I don't feel like I'm one of those people. But it took me a really long time to finally say, Margo, why in the world are you holding on to these shoes? Let them go. Okay. So all that to say, pop open your, where you keep your shoes, your closet, your whatnot, your bin, and be like, okay, if this pair of sneakers is like from 5 years ago and you've replaced them like 3 times over, or if you have a pair of boots that pinch your feet and like literally make you want to scream on the inside because they're so uncomfortable, let them go, right? And again, this doesn't have to be a 30-minute thing. Just like take a quick peek. You will naturally know like these are the shoes or the boots or whatnot that I haven't worn in forever, and just do yourself a favor, let them go. Number 7 is my favorite. And for all of you who know me, you're probably anticipating what I'm going to say. And that is to get rid of a piece of furniture in your home that you don't use. This is actually super quick, and I probably should have put this at number 1, and it makes the biggest impact on your home. The truth is that the more I can't even say furniture. Okay. Let's try this again. The more furniture you have in your home, the smaller your space looks. The smaller your space looks, the messier and more cluttered it appears. So I always, when I work with my clients in person, one of the first things that we talk about is what pieces of furniture can go, because that will provide like that first burst of dopamine. It's going to give the quickest and biggest result in a space. I've had clients get rid of coffee tables. I'm a big fan of not having a coffee table. I mean, coffee tables for me are a complete nightmare. They're cluttered eyesores. And I know I get a lot of hate in my comments when I talk about this. They're like, Margo, but a coffee table, it makes the room. And listen, I agree with you. For some people, it makes the room. For me, I have dogs, I have kids, I have family. It just attracts dust and cups and plates and all of that. And I just don't like it. I was sick and tired of having to clean it 10 times a day. So if it works for you and it is like, a beautiful showpiece in your living room, cool. But most of my clients who have chosen to get rid of their coffee table did not regret it. So anyways, I encourage you to walk around your home and try to spot pieces of furniture that you and your family do not actually use, right? It's not practical, or maybe it drives you absolutely crazy. I recently worked with a client, it was so funny, and she had a dining room And when we got into a whole conversation about, and the dining room, by the way, had like tons of paperwork on it and like decorations. And it was an eyesore. It was like a mountain of stuff on top of it, which, no judgment there. Like surfaces naturally attract clutter. It's not your fault. It's just kind of how it is. And I asked her, I said, Sue, what would it look like if we just got rid of the dining room table? And she was like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, what do you use it for? She's like, well, we never use it to eat, and I don't think we ever will. And I was like, okay, so wild idea. Why don't we just let it go? And she did that. And she was like, oh my God, Margo. Now, obviously, we also, created systems for like the paperwork and the other stuff to go. But she was like, it completely opened up her space. It looked stunning. And she was shocked that like for the last 10 plus years, she had this table, which she, by the way, didn't even like. And this whole time, just by getting rid of it, it took like a few minutes and a couple of hands. And she was like, the room looks so much bigger. So anyways, get rid of, maybe you have that exercise bike, or maybe you have that treadmill, or maybe you have like shelving in your house or a nightstand or whatnot. Just, again, don't part with things that you love and you use and they're practical in your home. But if I were to bet, there are probably items around your home that are bulky that you can just get rid of. Donate, do whatever you got to do. All right. Number 8. Old towels and linen. So same concept applies. If you have old, pop open your linen closet, if you have one, or, whatever, the cabinet or the drawers where you keep your towels and linens, take a quick peek and decide, do you really need to keep these things? And if there are a few that you can part with, great. That's a great win. Also, when it comes to towels and linens, a lot of the animal shelters in your neighborhood will probably accept those as donations. All right, we're almost at the end. Number 9. Shelf trinkets. You know what I'm talking about, right? Have you ever noticed how trinkets on your shelves just seem to multiply? We recently came back from the Dominican Republic, and even though we have been traveling there for over 30 years, and I've been traveling there multiple times a year with my daughter since she was pretty much 6 months, my daughter is notorious for wanting to bring back trinkets from the Dominican Republic, whether it's a turtle or, some kind of, right now, I think she brought home like, it's like a mini little coffee cup with a spoon, and she wants to display them on the shelves. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, is this necessary? The point is that we do, when we have shelves, bookshelves or whatnot, we tend to want to display. It's like the shelves call for trinkets, and you're like, I need to put something on here. No, you don't. And then what happens is, have you ever tried to actually clean those trinkets? I don't mean around the trinkets. I mean like actually like clean them one by one. It is a nightmare. Who has time for that? So anyways, I encourage you to walk over to your shelves or whatnot and take a look at the trinkets that are there, or the picture frames that are there. Do you actually need all of them? And if there's at least one that you can part with, I call that a win. And finally, number 10, and I get a lot of hate for this one. I get a lot of hate in my comments for this one as well. And it is to pop open your kitchen cabinet and get rid of the mugs that you and your family don't use. Okay. Look, I'm not here to tell you how many mugs you should keep per person, right? And I understand, for all of you who comment, I understand that if you host a lot, have family come over, you obviously need extra mugs. I am not knocking that. But what I'm saying is you yourself, right? If you're a coffee or tea drinker, you have one mouth. Why do you need 10 mugs for one person, right? At a minimum, 1 to 2 mugs per, member in the house. I mean, in my house, I only have one for myself. Like I literally just have one for me. But maybe you want 2 because, I don't know, maybe you love to be seasonal. Maybe you have like a winter mug that you absolutely love. But when I help women declutter, and one of the first places we start in is the kitchen. When I open their cabinets, I am not joking. There are like 20, 30, 40, 50 mugs in there. And I'm just like, who's drinking out of this? Who, right? So I'm not saying get rid of your mugs. I understand how tempting Home Goods could be. Home Goods, she tempts me too. I see some of the mugs and I'm like, oh my God, I want you. Meanwhile, my mug at home is like, why are you cheating on me now? My point is, at least get rid of 1 or 2 or 3 mugs that you don't actually use. As you can tell, you don't have to start decluttering with the hardest stuff. Actually, please don't. Start with the obvious stuff. Expired, unused, uncomfortable, unwanted. Every easy decision gives your brain a little win. That's what Spot and Toss is all about. One item, one decision, and keep it moving. And if you're thinking to yourself, you know what, Margo, this is actually the kind of decluttering I can do, join me for my 7-day spot and toss decluttering challenge. I'll leave a link to it in the show notes. As always, thank you so much for listening. Good luck on your decluttering journey. And remember to be good to yourself.